before I introduce today's guest chef, I would like to show you a video clip from back in 2018 because the very same chef appeared on my show at the age of 10 years old. And that's my grandson, Ethan. So first, look at the clip.
I'm back on another show, and first we're gonna be making some pretzels, and then we're gonna be making some meatballs. We will use this one for my demonstration. So first you wanna make the dough, spread it out, and then you wanna push your thumb into the middle of the dough. Then you want some mozzarella cheese and put just a little bit inside. And I only push my thumb inside so it would stay in better. And so that looks about good. And now I would want to close these, and if it comes out, you would want to just maybe take a little bit of cheese out and push it back in. But just anyway, just use a little bit of cheese inside. So now, to make the pretzel shape, you would want to make a big U, cross it over once, cross it over twice, and fold it over and push it down. So now I got my own pretzel. And now we're gonna be making some meatballs. And how to make the meatballs, you need some hamburger meat. And now we're going to punch a hole into the middle so we can put the ingredients in, and it'll be easier so it doesn't get all over the place. So first, you need an egg, some breadcrumbs, some garlic powder, and now I will mix all these up. And this chopper is my great-grandmother's chopper. And also, this bowl is also my great-grandmother's bowl. So I'll just do a little with my hands so it's easier.
And so now in 2022, here is Ethan Mezikowski.
It's great to be back.
And I'm glad to have you back, because he mentioned to me the other day, do you have any bread, Grandma? Because I had made these breads before. And I said, no, but how about if you came over and helped me make them? So here's the plain bread, and here is the seasoned, all seasoned bread. And so Ethan's going to show you how easy it is to put this all together. And then we're going to take and let it rest before we mold it and bake it. So go ahead.
All right, yeah, it's very simple. So first you'll need a tablespoon of salt. Next, a tablespoon of yeast. Just get a little more. Next, you'll need some water.
And make sure it's really very warm water.
Now mix it until you don't see any of the salt. So I'll just mix it for a few seconds. That should be good. And last, you'll need all of this flour.
Now, if you're courageous, you can double the batter and you can make 4 loaves of bread, but we're just doing the 2 today.
Now mix it up until it seems like it's pretty sticky.
And here's where the fun begins, because it's better if you use your hands.
Here,
I'll take the spoon.
All right.
And you just
get all of it off.
Yeah, you just dive right in. There's a little bit left. Is it nice and sticky, Ethan?
It's very sticky.
Good, good. And so let me see your hands. If your hands are nice and sticky.
Yeah, you can see how
good,
sticky it
good,
is.
good. So we're in good shape, and you can take and put the lid on, but leave it ajar a little bit because it could burst.
Okay.
So you can do that part. It may be sticky, but it's well worth it.
So this is what it should look like once you're done mixing it all together. And now I'm going to put the lid on and leave it just a bit open so some air can come in so it doesn't burst out.
Okay, here's the dough. It's risen, and it's fairly wet. So Ethan, just add a little bit of flour to the top. And then you can pull it away from the sides.
Seems good.
So that it's pretty loose. Okay, so add a little bit more flour to the top. Good. And we'll divide it so that, do you think that looks pretty good?
Let's go for right there.
You'll take a piece and I'll take a piece. Good. And just make sure that it has flour overall. It's much easier to work with. Now see how I'm just putting it under? See how nice and pliable it is, Ethan? And if you need to, you can put a little bit of flour on the top. And we'll put it on the parchment covered oven tray and let it rise for another 40 minutes.
So now I'm preparing the egg wash for the dough. So you'll need an egg, a tablespoon of water, and now I'm just going to beat it up. Now I'm finishing up the egg wash on the dough.
Looks good.
And now I'm going to be adding the slits.
So there are 5 slits that go on each bread, like an indentation. Good. Looks good.
The egg wash seems like it makes it easier to cut the dough.
Really? And see, this way it's going to open up on top. It gives it a great look. And there's just one more thing to do, Ethan. You know what that is?
What is it?
The seasoning. You do the seasoning, you make sure to like cup your hand around the bread so that most of the all seasoning goes right on the dough. Good. And this is like an everything bagel seasoning. It's really delicious for people who like onions and garlic. And then we put it in the oven for 30 minutes, 450 degrees. But Ethan, there's one other thing, the water. We're going to add some water in a little pan, and that adds a crunch to the bread. Okay, here goes. And so that goes in the top rack. And then the water goes in the middle shelf. And that's what helps to add the crunch. Very careful and pull out the whole rack, yeah? And right up here probably would be good. Nice. Here's the bread, and both of them came out terrific. Isn't that great?
It is.
Yeah, it really. And now we're going to try them to make sure that they taste great. See, they're very crunchy, and that's because we put that little container of water in the oven, and that's what gives it that crunch. I'll take an end piece, which is fine. Ah, awesome. Oh my, look at that. Get some nice butter or buttery spread. This one is absolutely delicious. And for someone who is not a baker, this is the easiest bread to make. Wasn't it easy?
Very.
Very, very easy. And I will have the recipe on my site. And if you have any questions, you can contact Gomez at Verizon.net. And here is my young grandson, who you saw in the beginning of the show. And now he's grown to untold proportions. How did you enjoy baking this bread?
It was a very easy process, I have to say.
See that? Very easy process, and if a young man could say that, I hope you try it.